Hey Leo, I've been thinking a lot lately about whether I should keep renting or finally take the plunge and buy a home. It's such a major life decision, and honestly, I'm a bit overwhelmed. There's so much advice online. Some people say it's the best investment you can make. Others say it's a financial trap. What's your take?
I completely get where you're coming from, Alice. I've been renting for the last 8 years, and I've had similar thoughts. Every time I start seriously thinking about buying, I find myself hesitating. It's not just the money, it's the commitment, the uncertainty about future plans, the potential for market changes. There's a lot to consider.
That's exactly it. I mean, on one hand, renting feels like I'm just throwing money away every month. I don't build any equity, and there's nothing to show for the thousands I've spent over the years. On the other hand, buying ties you down to one location and comes with its own set of costs and responsibilities. It's not just about paying the mortgage. There's maintenance, taxes, insurance, repairs, the list goes on.
You're right, a lot of people just compare rent to mortgage, but that's not a full picture. For example, last year my friend bought a house, and within a few months, their boiler broke down. It cost them over $7,000 to fix it, and it wasn't covered under warranty. That's something you rarely have to worry about. As a renter, you just call your landlord and they handle it.
That's a big downside. When I think about homeownership, I imagine the independence and the pride of owning a place that's truly mine. I could decorate however I want, knock down walls, build a garden, or even renovate. But then I remember I'd be responsible for every little thing that goes wrong. And sometimes I just want to live without worrying if the roof is leaking.
I know, and don't forget the upfront costs. Down payments, closing fees, legal fees, property inspections. Buying a house involves a lot more than just getting approved for a mortgage. Not to mention the stress of house hunting, bidding wars, and potentially moving to a less convenient location just to afford something in your price range.
Exactly. I was looking at listings the other day, and the houses I can afford are all at least 40 minutes away from work. That's a long commute. Right now, I live close to my office, shops, restaurants, and public transportation. Giving that up just to own a property makes me question whether it's worth it.
It's definitely a lifestyle choice. For me, flexibility is huge. I like knowing I can move to a new city or even a new country without having to deal with selling a property. Renting lets me adapt quickly to changes in my career or personal life. If I owned a home, moving would be way more complicated.
That's true, and these days, with remote work being more common, people are more mobile than ever. But then again, that could also be an argument for buying a place somewhere more affordable and working remotely. You get the benefits of ownership without the high cost of city living.
That's an interesting point. Some of my friends have moved to smaller towns and bought homes there for a fraction of what it would cost in the city. They have more space, cleaner air, and a slower pace of life. But I'm not sure I'm ready to give up the buzz and energy of the city just yet.
Same here. I love city life, but as I get older, I start to crave stability. I want a place I can truly call home, something that's mine. Plus, home values do tend to go up over time. If I buy now and hold on to the property for 15 or 20 years, I could end up with a lot of equity.
Yes, appreciation is a big reason people buy. Real estate has historically performed well over the long term, but you have to be in it for the long haul. If you buy and need to sell in a few years, especially if the market dips, you could lose money. And that's not even considering transaction fees, which can be hefty.
True. I read that closing costs alone can range from 2 to 5% of the home's purchase price. That's a lot, and then when you sell, you lose another 5 or 6% to agent fees and other expenses. You really need to stay in the home for a while to make it worth it.
Exactly. So for someone like me who's not sure where I'll be in the next 5 years, buying might not make sense. But for someone who's ready to settle, buying could be a good move, especially if they plan to raise a family, build roots, or just have more control over their living space.
I've been thinking about that too. I'm not planning to move anytime soon, and I think I'm ready to create a stable environment for myself. But it's a little scary committing to a 30-year mortgage. That's a long time. What if my job situation changes or something unexpected happens?
That's where emergency funds and financial planning come in. If you buy, you need to make sure you have a buffer, at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up in case of job loss or emergencies. And get pre-approved for a mortgage that fits your budget, not just the maximum the bank will give you.
Good advice. I guess I need to sit down with my finances and really map things out. I want to make a smart decision, not an emotional one at the same time. I don't want to wait too long and miss out on good opportunities. It's such a balancing act.
It really is, and don't forget about the emotional side of buying too. Some people feel more secure, more grounded, and more accomplished when they own a home. For others, that responsibility feels like a burden. You have to know what kind of person you are.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I like the idea of owning, but I also love my current carefree lifestyle. I can travel when I want. I don't have to worry about fixing appliances or dealing with homeowners associations. But sometimes I wonder if I'm missing out on something bigger.
There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone's path is different. What works for one person may not work for another. I think it's all about timing, priorities, and personal goals. Right now, renting works for me, but maybe in a few years, I'll feel differently.
That's reassuring to hear. I think I've been putting too much pressure on myself to make the right choice. But maybe the right choice is just the one that aligns with my current life stage and future plans.
Exactly. And remember, renting isn't throwing money away. You're paying for flexibility, convenience, and the freedom to move. That's valuable too. Homeownership isn't the only path to financial security.
You're right. I think I'm going to keep renting for now, but I'll start preparing for the future, maybe save up for a down payment, keep an eye on the market, and educate myself that way. If the right opportunity comes along, I'll be ready.
That sounds like a smart plan. Take your time, weigh the pros and cons, and don't rush. You'll know when it feels right.
Thanks, Leo. Talking to you has really helped me clarify things. I was feeling anxious before, but now I feel more in control.